You've tuned into The Mountain Gardener with your host, Ken Lain. Gardening, it can be challenging, but with these simple insider tips, you'll reap huge rewards. Now, let's tune into today's Mountain Gardener with Ken and Lisa. And welcome to this week's edition of The Mountain Gardener. Your host, Ken Lain, here every week, talking about the landscapes of northern Arizona. And here we are, deep into the holiday season. And I have had to do some garden work because we've had our first party at our house. We're just things are looking a little messy out there. And I was worried about people tripping or losing their footing or not finding the way because of all the leaves in the front yard. I've got this beautiful, just stunning Prescott Blaze maple. It's been there for 15, 20 years. You could put your arms around it, the trunk, but it's no way you can get your hands around it. It's got to be every bit of 2 feet around. And it is 30 feet tall, 15 feet wide by the driveway. It's beautiful. Provides shade. The birds love it. It's the place to go to in the morning to keep the sun out as you read the paper when the season's right. Not this morning. It was too chilly, but it's one of my favorite spots for morning gatherings. It's a fountain out there, water's flowing through. The hummingbirds go to it. Right now, the robins and the smaller birds are in the fountain kind of going, oh, here's some water for me. And then I've got a thyme lawn. It's like a courtyard. It's patioed. When the kids left for college, I basically paved over the lawn and put down a patio and surrounded it with this beautiful garden setting. And then instead of grass, because I don't want to mow anymore, I don't have the kids to mow for me, I've got to do it. I don't want to do that. That's not fun for me. So I put a thyme lawn in and I mow it maybe twice a year, basically to give it a haircut so it looks even. The rest of the time it's just blooming or just it's green. It just looks good. No, low water care. The dogs like it. They smell good when they roll around on it. Their pee doesn't spot it. So that was what I was worried about. Nope, no problems. So thyme lawns are great. But when you put a 3-inch layer of maple leaves on top of it, I was actually worried about it being suffocated or damaged by not being able to see the sunlight. So, having our first party this week, I was motivated to clean it up, not because of my thyme lawn. I mean, yes, it's basically there were just piles of leaves rolling around on the front patio area, going to the front door. It was unsightly. And it could have been dangerous. So I took an hour and I raked it all up, got it going. Now, this tree, it's big. I like maples in that they lose all their leaves pretty much all at once. So not every tree does that. Some trees actually lose a little bit here. They start in September, they start to drop, then a few more in October, then some more in November and December. And oh my gosh. I mean, just come on, decide. Are you going to go into fall color or not? Sycamores. I mean, I love the look of sycamores. I love their bark. I love the way how big they get, how fast they grow. They do have a root structure that's rather mischievous. They can lift driveways and they just lift sidewalks. They're very aggressive. They're just too big for my front yard. Maples, they don't do that. The other negative is they drop their leaves. They're always dropping. Every month of the year, they drop something. I don't want that. I don't mind dropping kind of in the autumn and, 6 weeks later, I'm done. I can rake them all up and I'll call it good. But I don't want to do it for the next, once a month for the next 6 months. I don't want to do that. They've got little balls that drop down. Anyway, I have a thing. I sell a lot of sycamores, but I'll try to steer you if I could to maples because it's got the same 5-pointed leaf to it. It's got the big canopy. It grows fast. It's got red color instead of gold. We have enough gold in my yard. I don't need more yellow. I want reds and oranges and different colors. And so I just chose Prescott Blaze maple. That's just me. You might try Robinia, or oaks are beautiful that way. They turn this bright red and then they just drop and they're done. They're easy cleanup, super drought hardy. So there's a lot of good trees out there. Anyway, I digress. What do you do with all these leaves. This is like gold for the gardens. Now, a lot of folks, you tuned in, you're tuned in from the mountains where you're surrounded by pine trees. Now, needles are different than leaves. Needles take a long time to break down. They're very waxy, very pitchy. There's not much nutrients in it. I wouldn't really encourage taking needles and working those into the gardens. They just break down just too slowly. You can't put enough fertilizer, manures, plant foods on top of it to have it break down to compensate. I use pine needles as a top dressing. Because they break down so slowly, they're beautiful as a mulch bed on top of around your roses, over your flowers. Keep weeds down against fence lines. They're great for that. I mean, a few needles are great at just suppressing weeds, holding down moisture. It's really good in that respect. And they stay there for a while, at least an entire year or more. And then when they do finally break down, they're good compost for the gardens. So, but I prefer deciduous trees, those trees that lose their leaves. It's aspens and maples and sycamores, oaks, robinias, locusts, all these kind of things. Silk tassel tree or mimosas, they're all really good. When those leaves break down, they break down much faster, and they have much more nutritional value in the structure of the cells of the leaves. So they're much better at amending the gardens with leaves over needles. That's just some advice I'll give you. What I do with mine, so I'm going to pick up my maples from the front yard, and I'm going to put them around the backyard because they're kind of unsightly. I've got some areas where they can compost and break down and do their thing over the long term. I could add them to my compost pile, but I'm a birder. I love birds. I love to see the birds. The winter birds are different than the spring birds, and there's birds everywhere. It's ridiculous, actually, sometimes. Birds love in the winter to peck around in the foliage to look for worms and things underneath the leaves. It's just entertaining for me. It's entertaining for them. It's a good thing for them. So I like to spread out my leaves on certain areas of my backyard where I can have it more naturally composting. And so what I did, I got a few bags of, and this is kind of my name's Ken. We're just neighbors talking over the back fence. This is working for me. It'll probably work for you. I took a few bags of manure. Seems weird, I know. But I'll put manure down where I want some more nutrients in my gardens. So I've got a certain area it's kind of schlepping off. I'm on a serious grade. I wanted to raise it up a little bit, not with manure, but just kind of give it more elevation change, keep the trees and shrub, they use up the soil. So I'm trying to reinvigorate the soil so they stop using it, or I can just keep up with their use. So I put some manure in this area, and then I put leaves on top of it. Now here's why. So manure is very rich, but it's got a mulch look to it. Now our manure is deodorized. It's composted for a year. It's not gooey and gross. It looks like mulch, but it's got more nutrients to it. I'm putting that down, but it has this I don't know, look to it that's more finished. I want it more natural for my birds. And so I put manure down. I put the leaves that I picked up on top of that. And then it helps makes things look better. But it also, the manure helps the leaves to break down faster. I get a double whammy. The birds are really happy because the worms are attracted to that area. It just enriches, enlivens that part of my landscape, and things just come alive. That 1-2 punch, that's kind of a garden hack that really works in my yard. Manure in the fall, like late winter, what is it? We got couple more weeks of fall right now. Then we go to winter. I'm doing it now. Manure with some leaves on top of it, and wow, do things come alive. My birds are super happy. The plants around that area are super happy. It's just something I do that I've been doing for years that really makes a difference. If your entire yard is nothing but rock, probably not ideal. Although you've got some beds where you could do this around the edges of the gardens. It really does play out well for you. I've got Lisa Watters Lain coming in the studio right after this. Okay, maybe after decades of the same fruitcake exchange, it's time to start a new holiday tradition.
A living Christmas tree from Watters Garden Center can be decorated and enjoyed for a lifetime, not just a season.
When the holiday festivities end, gather family and friends and plant your tree together for years of enjoyment.
As your family tree grows, have a tree that grows with your family. From Watters Garden Center, 1815 Iron Springs Road in Prescott.
And we are back with Lisa Watters Lain in the studio. She comes each week with your garden question. It's just, what are all your neighbors talking about in the garden? I kind of intro that well enough.
Sure.
Short and sweet. Hey, Lisa.
Hi.
Lots of holiday parties.
Yeah.
Lots of chocolates, fudges, punch. We haven't had any punch.
No punch.
No punch. Probably
People
is a
do
good
punch
thing.
anymore. I don't know if people do punch anymore.
I had a recipe for a punch for the Christmas dinner. Just going, you can make it so light that it kind of like it's Kool-Aid basically, and it's pretty because it's got fruits floating in it. Although fruits and flies not good, just fruits. I don't know.
But do we have a punch bowl? Does anybody have? Remember, everybody used to have a punch bowl in the day. You had a punch bowl, little glasses.
What do they call those? That special Tupperware stuff you get made out of glass. You collect
Pyrex.
Pyrex.
Tupperware. It's not
Tupperware. I don't know. Pyrex. We've got Pyrex.
We do have. Pyrex.
We have a Dutch oven. How about that? Non-heated, just like a cast iron, big old heavy thing that someone's going to knock over.
We'll have to think this through.
Yeah. Or not have punch, just have potatoes. I don't know. Wine. I don't know.
Stick with the liquor. Stick with the gin and tonic.
There you go. So, garden questions. What are people thinking about this as we come into true winter now?
Yeah, that is true. So Aaron in Prescott Valley put in 5 emerald arborvitae this spring. He said they've been doing great. Doing well, growing, but now he's noticing some bronze coloring on them. He wants to know, basically, is that a normal thing for winter, or is it something to be concerned about?
Yeah, Aaron. So that is completely normal. I preach it like starting in September and October. Gardeners, fertilize your evergreens. Make sure you get them. Put 744 all-purpose food for 2 months straight. I say, do that, so that your evergreens won't turn this bronze color in winter, or yellow. Sometimes it turns yellow. Sometimes they can be purple. It depends on the evergreen, but it's not unhealthy. It's pretty standard. I would say, just if you haven't fertilize now with 744. It'll keep it from getting worse, and it will green up faster. Starting usually February, March, start to green right back up, and then it's right back out of it. So evergreens typically are not evergreen. There's this cycle of different colors through the season. Of course, they're in spring. It's Kelly green, bright, vibrant, soft, new growth. Then it goes into more traditional forest green. That's be more of I'm just a man. I only have like one description for green. It's green. So Kelly green, that was a stretch for me. So
emerald green.
There you go. Emerald green.
There you go.
And then it has this yellow kind of hue. Junipers can do the same thing, kind of more of a blue, the new growth, and green, and then purple. Cotoneaster, same thing. It's got a broadleaf evergreen, so it's got kind of very dark blue-green foliage now. It'll have a purple hue to it as we get into winter. Then it has this bright green coming in spring. So it's not unusual to see your plants, if you're not used to 4-season climates, to see your evergreens ebb and flow like that. Of course, deciduous plants, they're easy.
They don't ebb and flow.
They lose their leaves. It's obviously a different season. They don't just change color. They get vaporized. And then they come out with brand new either foliage or flowers. A lot of your spring blooming plants are deciduous because they need this rest to be able to generate enough energy to have that flush of growth. A few evergreens will bloom and have new growth, like rhododendrons, hollies, magnolias. What is it? Indian hawthorn. Help me out. Boxwood.
Put me on the spot.
I'm going through the list. I'm walking through the garden centers. I'm saying this on the airwaves. Going, where are they? So there you go. So to Aaron, not to worry, perfectly fine. I'd say keep them watered because you said they were fairly new this year. Water your especially new plants, not just arborvitae, but new plants. Water at least twice a month because it's dry right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
if you
is.
dig a hole right now, putting some things in and it's the ground is dry. You want to keep those plants hydrated, that soil around it, so that the winter cold doesn't damage or cause winter burn or tip burn, different names for it. But it's, if a plant goes through a cold spell and it's dry, you'll get this damage to it. Typically doesn't kill it, but it sure makes it look ugly, and you'll set you back a step next spring.
So all those people that turned off their irrigation systems, I get it, but those plants still need water.
Take a hose, go all traditional, like your grandparents did. Drag a hose across the yard, water it by hand. Here you go. Come to the garden center. Get a watering can, fill them up, schlep them over there, and then water your plant. But it'll make a difference next spring with your plants.
Definitely.
Dramatic. I mean, it's dramatic. Yeah.
Okay. Our next question is from Daniel in Prescott. He has a new home. The contractors or the excavators do what they normally do, and they scrape the snot out of it. He wants to put some more native grasses and flowers back on. It's a little bit of a slope area that he wants to cover.
Sure.
So he's just looking for some tips and tricks to do it correctly the first time.
Sure. Daniel, great question. First of all, let me just welcome you to the neighborhood. Welcome to God's country. I guess I'm just assuming you're just fresh from California or Chicago or wherever people come from, or maybe you just moved across the street. I don't know.
Maybe.
Welcome to the new house. It sounds fun. So typical to have construction scars, especially bigger properties. So smaller properties, they just rock it over. Obviously, you're dealing with a little bit larger piece. So you got some scars of construction out there. We've got two things, and you want to do this during the winter. We've got a wildflower mix. And for you specifically, because you said you want to have wild grasses and wild flowers, I'm assuming you want them more native-y. We have an Arizona mix. Very, very good stuff. You could blend some of that with, because I'm making some assumptions. Probably you're on a bigger piece of property and you're out there where the deer and javelina and rabbits are. We have a deer and rabbit resistive list, and you can blend those two flower mixes together. You want to put that on anytime between now and January, be your kind of your peak window for putting wildflower seed down. We also have, this is very interesting, we have a wild grass mix. So we made a grass mix just for people like Daniel. So it's as you're driving down the road and you see wild grasses off to the side of the road, it's that grass. It's wheatgrass and grama grass and blue fescues. We've taken all those, blended it so that you could revegetate that and be very native. It'd be perfect for that slope. So that you're going to want to do probably at the same time. I would say blend. I would say get a bag, shake and bake this thing. Put your wild grasses, put your wildflowers, mix them all together, spread them as evenly as you can out there by the end of January. Put a little layer of Watters premium mulch. We screen that compost down real tight. Keep the birds off, help you revegetate, help you get germination better, and you'll have a beautiful patch of. You won't see those tractor tires. It won't be bald. It won't have a bunch of weeds and tumbleweed or horehound. It'll be beautiful flowers. So
how often would he need to water that?
If you're really going to do it, here's how we've done it in the past. You go down to Cal Ranch or just your hardware store, get a soaker hose, like your traditional, like half-inch soaker hose, snake it around up and down that hill, turn it on, and wherever the wet spots are, put your seed and stuff right there, and it will germinate like that. And then water it, I don't know, every 10, 14 days right now. Maybe when you start to see seedlings coming up once a week or so, keep it evenly moist, but not soggy kind of thing. These are wild seed. That's kind of how you'd approach it. And you'll start having flowers. They'll come up in waves. So the grasses will come up in waves, and so will the flowers. So they'll start to come up. And it'll be the poppies, and then it will be the echinaceas, then it'll be the gaillardias, and it'll be this mixture's got, I don't know, over a dozen varieties of wild flowers made for here. And so if you're blending a couple mixtures together, you have even more. And the grass has got 6 or 7 varieties of wild grasses in it. So you'll see this pulsating wave through spring of beautiful new growth. And so main thing is it'll keep when the monsoons hit, it'll keep that hill from eroding. And most importantly, you're right there exposed on a hill, you're going to have weeds blowing in on you. You will have weeds everywhere if you don't get on this. So kind of your timing's midwinter to start wild patches like this. And hopefully that helps you. Wow, I like that. 2 questions. We're out of time.
Yeah.
Ken and Lisa Lain, the Mountain Gardeners. Be right back after this.
Hi, Watters with the plants of the week and our Roman beauty rosemary.
This Mediterranean beauty has graceful, arching branches that flow over rock walls, raised beds, or container's edge.
A culinary herb often used in potpourri.
Rugged, deer-resistive, evergreen, likes crummy soil, drought, and abuse. Now that's my kind of shrub.
Watters Garden Center, 1815 Iron Springs Road in Prescott, where people who love unusual, healthy herbs, they love to shop.
There are a couple things I'm doing in my backyard. So I've got, let me think here, how many statues, just garden art in the back. I've got a bronze piece, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4 pieces of art in the backyard. It's a half-acre lot, but the backyard we like to entertain. You're overlooking a vista. You got the dells in the background. It's beautiful. I've got 3 pieces in the front yard, and in the back I've got a pond. In the front I've got a fountain. And so right now I am doing a couple things just to ensure these things go through winter and come out well. One, I have sealed all of my concrete statues with a clear sealer. It's like a Thompson water sealer. It just repels the water. I don't want my concrete to take in moisture and then, and then it freezes and thaws and it cracks up my finishes. Keeps the paint going. Gives it a gloss, makes them pretty, but I always do this. There's a spray can you get down at any hardware store, go to True Value or Ace, whatever, get a clear spray for concrete, boom. I just spray those on there and it just makes them go through. I've got some concrete pieces that are 20 years old. They're still beautiful. They still look new because I do this every about now. And then secondly, my ponds and my fountains, I'm only running those when it's not freezing. I don't want icicles forming for the same reason. I don't want ice to break up, and ice destroys things. Where it's just water, no problem. So I like to keep my fountains and ponds running because I'm a bird guy. Remember, I love birds. And so I'm keeping them out there for the birds. Now I do have, I've chosen select varieties or types. So I've got one fountain in the front yard. It's got a big concrete or piece of granite. And then the water feature is actually underground. So it's buried. It looks like this, it's called negative. You don't see the water. You're just seeing the flow. And because the main pool is underground and the granite comes up and it flows on top and flows down, I don't get freezing. And I have moved that. Generally, I have that coming on first thing in the morning. I like to read the paper. I like to take my iPad and just read the paper out in the front yard. I might or might not have my pajamas on. I don't know. But I'm out there just reading, relaxing. I love the birds, the sound of the water. It's magical. When it's a little chilly, we'll be in the front bedroom, which is kind of a sitting room. And we'll open the window so we can hear the water running. There's something magical about running water. Well, we run those in the morning because I'm in at work at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm up at 6 or 7 reading. I want to read. I want it running then. Right now, I've changed that. I don't want it running when it's freezing, and it can still be freezing at 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. So I've moved all those timers to come on midday. So I've got my front fountain coming on 10 to 2 because rarely is it ever going to be freezing. I can't remember the last time it was freezing cold in the middle of the day, even in January here in Prescott, Arizona. The pond, I'm doing something similar. The pond, I generally will run morning and evening. So I'm out there. The birds love the morning. I have it coming on at 6 o'clock in the morning. I like to sleep with the windows open. And so when I hear that pond running, I go, oh, must be 6. It's almost like an alarm. It's magical. The birds love it. They're singing like crazy. And then at the end of the day, I'll have it running when I get home. So I don't have it running 24/7 just for me. I don't know. Trying to save water, energy. Why run it when I'm not out there? I'm working during the day. And so I run it when I am enjoying it. What I've done is I've changed, again, the pond to run when it's not freezing. So that pond will freeze over solid, like ice, solid on it. You could almost walk on it. That's not good for ponds. Again, ice destroys things. So it pushes out on the edges. It takes the skimmer box and gets in there and just causes grief. So what I've done there is I will move the timer so it runs middle of the day. 10 to 2 is perfect. The water's warm. It actually breaks up the ice. It helps melt it. But in addition to my ponds, they make what's called a pond heater. It's a floating rock, basically. Why a rock floats, I have no idea, but it's cute. You can't tell. They've got stock tank heaters, which looks like hardware. All they do is wrap a stock tank heater in plastic so it looks more formal, like a rock is sitting there in the middle of the pond. I keep it next to my skimmer just so there's no ice that ever forms. It doesn't keep the entire pond from freezing. It keeps a hole open so the whole thing, so that it's not solid ice all the way across there. My birds can get to the water, and if you've got fish, it allows the toxic stuff that kind of builds underneath the ice, lets it out. And I noticed there's a halo effect that keeps my skimmer from freezing solid. So the skimmers where you hold the pumps, all the expense of a pond is in the skimmer, if you have a skimmer. So I've got my big old 1/2 horsepower motor there, and then it floats up to the waterfall that floats down here. It's a cycle. So I put my pond heater right there. I have actually put that on there. It's thermostatically controlled. So it only comes on if it senses the water is about to freeze. I think it comes on at like 38 degrees. So it's not on all the time, but it floats there all the time. So those two things, adjust things. Now, so for fountains that are formal out there exposed in the open, I think I would drain and cover my concrete fountains like in the middle of the driveway. Mine are underground, they're protected, or they're ponds that are more protected. Those are some things I'm doing for mine. I've done that this week. I think it might help you if you've got those yourself. Be right back.
The holidays are here in Arizona's Christmas City, bringing family closer and those chilly winter winds.
While you're decorating the outside, don't forget to brighten up the inside with exotic Christmas plants from Watters.
Beautiful Christmas cactus and poinsettia are coming to town, grown exclusively by Watters in colors you won't find anywhere else.
Unique, vibrant, and guaranteed to warm even the dreariest winter day.
Check your list twice for exotic Christmas plants at Watters Garden Center in Prescott.
And we are back with Lisa Watters Lain in the studio. She comes each week and we just give her the airwaves for 10 minutes straight. Keep on talking. Make sure there's no lags, no voids, but anyway, Lisa comes in to share her different perspective. Let me help you out with that. There we go.
Thank you.
Give you grief.
It wants to sag down.
Well, we don't want saggy microphones. Kind of like we don't want saggy plants. We don't want saggy microphones.
I thought you were going to go somewhere else.
Where? What are you talking about?
I'll let it go.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Yes.
To our Jewish friends, blessed Hanukkah. Everyone else, Merry Christmas. It is winter. Solstice coming up. It's like the peak of the holidays. Lots of parties.
21st? Is it always on the 21st?
Yeah, always. Kind of spring always lands on the 20th, 22nd, 21st. Yeah. Summer's always, I think, June 22nd, 23rd.
Somewhere in there.
When fall's always September 23rd, 23rd. Yeah, pretty much.
But
if in doubt, Amazon. When is
Amazon.
Christmas? When is Alexa? I'm sorry, Alexa. When is? Boy, it shows you how good I am with AI or talking smart homes. Not very, honey.
I don't know.
What do you got before I embarrass myself?
Okay. Well, this week we have unloaded, I don't know how many pallets of pottery.
Oh, yeah.
So we got our first load of our new spring pottery in.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Even though it's winter, we have spring pottery.
Got a front load.
So just the guy, they've been unpacking it. Kinsey, the guys, Eric, Chris, just unloading it. They wrap it. So, I mean, it's just like
intense.
So
it doesn't break.
Oh, I know. You want it that way. But it takes a while to undo it. So they've been working on that. It's really fun to see new colors, new styles. It's just fun.
It is style, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Pottery. This is 2024. It's the pottery for this spring. And the styles change each year. The color tones will be different. The textures will be different, and the patterns, the layering of colors
Mhm.
will be different. So you'll see. And if you're, I mean, I came in, I purposely stayed away because I unloaded the truck. It kills. I'm an old man. I don't want to do that. It's hard. That's for young people.
Mhm.
I came out like half the parking lot is like pottery,
Pottery.
everywhere.
Yeah.
I went, oh, sure glad I got that one. Missed that one. Well done, team, by the way. Hey,
Yes,
if
they
you're
did
tuned
excellent.
in, you guys are awesome. You're working it.
Mhm. And I would say if you're looking to buy sets, so 3 different sizes, 4 different sizes in the same style, same color, now is the best time to do that, because what'll happen is we get more into the season, people will pick 1 or 2, or they want 2 big pots, and then you don't have the big pot to complete your set. So now's a really good time if you like the sets of pottery. It's a great time to be looking for that.
If I get in trouble towards the peak of spring, so Mother's Day, post Mother's Day to July 4th, it's still crazy busy at the garden center.
Mhm.
And so by then the pottery is starting to be, it's hard to restock. You have to order this stuff by semi-load. So you're
Mhm.
getting hundreds upon hundreds of pots, and then you can't go and get more
Right.
until you can fill that semi up or container to bring it over. So people are going, I want 2 matching, I want them identical, same
Right.
color, same size on either side of my door. And went, well, we don't have it.
Mhm.
Our time was back last winter and early spring, not post spring summer. That's not your time. Your peak time is now. And I think people get confused. They're thinking that pottery is not as popular here as it is other places. It's more so because anytime you try to dig a hole here, it's impossible. So people transition to containers quite often because it's so easy to grow in them.
Definitely. That was one of my points.
Oh,
And the
sorry.
reason to have pottery.
My bad.
No, it's excellent because it is a challenge to dig a hole here. And so putting it in a container, you can grow so many things in containers. Why not? It's a lot easier than trying to dig a hole in granite sometimes. So definitely worth it. A few other reasons I had listed to bring pottery into the yard was it brings color to your house and your yard, especially this time of year. You look out and you're like, oh, a lot of things
flowers.
have gone dormant. There's green,
flowers.
but there's not a lot of color. So really nice to have some pottery out there that brings in that color, gives you something to look at besides dormant plants.
Some of these pots, they're pieces of art. I mean, truly, they're so beautiful. You almost don't want to plant in them because they're, in fact, some of them we don't plant at our house, urns and stuff. We just have them as pretty pots, or we might set a cachet bowl on top of it, but not plant in it just because it's so pretty. I don't want to. I don't know what we're thinking. We own a garden center and get another one. It's like, but no,
it works. The other reason is you can use pottery to define a space. So if you're doing outdoor rooms, patios, seating, you can use that pottery to define your space, to kind of use it around the perimeters. It just really helps. If you have a really big space, it narrows it down. So it doesn't feel so open and out there.
We use ours we have this huge patio. It's this entire length of the house. It's big. It's got fire pits and hot tubs and barbecues and so it's long, but we didn't want a railing up there but there's a grade. So it's like the patio and then there's like a 7-foot drop. We didn't want grandkids hurling themselves over. And so we put pottery and some decorative furniture up and grew some plants. And now it's beautiful and safe. We're growing roses and all kinds of big things out there, but they're stunning.
Definitely. Yeah. So you can define areas with it. Also good for entryways.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of these big homes have these ginormous entryways now, which is they're spectacular. They're beautiful, but they're almost too big, too overwhelming. And getting a selection of pottery in there just kind of makes it more warm as you walk into the home.
That's our niche. Because you can't go down to Walmart and buy a nice big pot for $1 million house. It just, they're not big enough, and plastic it just ain't gonna do it. It's got to be beautiful and it has to be to scale, and then you plant in it. So big resort size or big large home size pots, it's kind of a strong point for us. And then everything down below, of course, house plants, that kind of stuff.
I was gonna say we have a really nice selection of indoor houseplant pottery, but sometimes can be a little a little weird in some of the box stores. But we have really rich colors, the blues, the grays, the blacks, some really nice kind of, I always call them the 70s colors that are coming back.
70s, early 80s, that's in.
It's definitely coming back. And they are actually very well done, beautiful colors, and so nicely to put your house plants in. It just ups the level of your indoor.
If you have a new home, you don't want to run down and get that leftover pottery from the big orange or blue box. What you want to go down to where the interior designers are shopping for their pottery for their clients. And that's at Watters Garden Center, because they know when the cycles are and the styles and the colors, and they're trying to match tones and that kind of stuff. And now I can't believe you got the best interior selection I've ever seen. It's like, but house
Really
plants
good.
are big. New homes are in. So it goes for apartments. It goes for houses. It's just, it goes in any place you live.
And you and Kinsey actually went and picked out this pottery. So it wasn't like picking a picture out of a magazine. You actually go see the colors, because you know how it is, like when you buy a dress and you're thinking, oh, I gotta love that color. And then you get it and you're like, that's not the color it was in the magazine.
Right.
So you guys actually went and looked at the pottery, felt it, touched it.
Size, the thickness, the weight. Was there value there? And we're not shopping by, we need the cheapest one. We're looking for, I've never seen that. Oh my gosh, they're going to love this. I can't believe Prescott's going to have this. If we get excited and giddy about it, we figure our customers will too. And so we're going for styles and quality. And then you shop price. So it's inverted. So we're going for that. But you got to have the right price too. But so many times at box stores, it's only about price. You get what's left over. If we're done picking out of the warehouse, what's left over, it goes down to the wherever those things go.
So it's a good time to look at pottery. You can still plant. If you get a nice pot for outside, you want to put a nice evergreen in there, you can certainly do that. The pot will take it. The plant will take it. Make your home pretty for the holidays. You bet.
Yeah, you should mention to folks, there are different grades of pottery. And so we are only specializing in the ones you can garden in outdoors with your pots. So it's got to be a thicker and heavier and higher kiln. It's got to have a higher fired. So anyway, we are out of time. Thank you, Lisa, on the next year's pottery. Appreciate that. Ken and Lisa Lain, the Mountain Gardeners. Be right back after this.
Look, if your wife, mom, or dad wants an ugly sweater for Christmas, get them a sweater, not some piece of plastic.
But if someone you truly care about loves their garden, a gift card to Watters makes perfect sense.
Next spring, she can pick exactly what she was hoping.
We all know it's not the same as a huge flower basket or fragrant rose, but hey, it's winter. Gardeners understand.
Watters online gift cards are found at top10plants.com or at Watters Garden Center in Prescott.
So I was mentioning what I'm doing to adjust timers and when to run my pond, my fountains. So I've adjusted those. I do that sometime, I don't know, first part of December. That's when we start to see some freezing. We'll see frost before that, but not freezing. And I still haven't seen any true freezing temperatures yet, but I will. It's coming. And I don't want to be caught by surprise. So I adjusted my ponds to come on, fountains to come on, run during the middle of the day when it's not freezing, because ice is hard on everything. Your garden's everything. That's why I mulch my flower beds. I don't want the ground freezing. Ice is hard on everything. So if I can keep it from freezing, perfect. So I've done all that. I'm taking my leaves, raking those up, as I mentioned in the first segment, and I'm using those to insulate, raise up, and helping my birds, top dressing my gardens, enriching the soils. There's a lot of benefit to it. What I do with my fountains, I said I'd mentioned I get a clear spray and I spray them. I actually seal them every this time of year, every year. And I've got some that are quite old. I've got gargoyles, little girls on benches, beautiful statues, just art. What art does in the garden is it draws you in. That's what I love about it. So every major garden area, I have some sort of art. It might be a container on the patio. I've got a St. Francis. I was selling a St. Francis. His head came off. It broke. I can't sell this. But I went, oh, that's kind of neat. I just had the St. Francis. You know what it is, St. Francis. It's a unique look. and I put him on a stick in my container. And he's floating there looking at you just on a stick. I mean, it is true art. It's cool. But I spray him, I clear him. I seal all of my art every year. I might have some big bronze pieces that are just over the top, like they're beautiful. That's big section of the gardens over here, and I down light, and I bring the beauty out in those. On the main front yard, I've got raised beds going up, so I've got pieces of art in the raised bed to go, look at this. It might be a solid wall of green for privacy, but it highlights and frames this piece of art. It's engaging. It draws you in. You can't look away. Everyone comments on it. That's how art is used. Whether you're into unicorns or frogs or bears or statues, that's how you use art. And so in my backyard, you come down from the front. It's a big, steep, sloping lot, 2-story house. I mean, it's hard to garden in. It's hard to get around in. But when we have a backyard party, everyone comes down the side steps beside the garage. You go to the back gate. You walk in and you're greeted by a winged gargoyle. I mean, you just went, oh, surprise. It's a surprise thing. It's a funky, unusual place for a piece of art, but it adds delight when you walk back there. The sound of running water. There is nothing like the sound of running water. And so I have it throughout our property. I've got 2 big pieces of running water, and I'm thinking I might just buy an actual artistic fountain. Mine are more pond-like. So they're less artistic, but you can hear the water. The hummingbirds love it. But there's nothing like an actual 3-tiered running piece of water. You've really what you've got. The 2026 spring is here. We are now, spring of next year is happening. And so we've got next spring's pottery is here. This is the time to buy, if you want matching sets, big matching sets. You want first dibs. You want, when does it arrive? I want it now. Poof. And grab it, because when spring finally hits, it's starting to be picked over. Now you can get matching colors, but you can't get matching sizes, but you want those pillars going up to the front door to be matching. Oh, what am I going to do? Well, you should have been here earlier. And it's not like you can just order one big pot. We're ordering these by container load. I mean, you've got to have 20 pallets of pottery all at once. It's hundreds, thousands of pieces are coming all at once. You can only do that a couple times a year. And so you want to know when they come and grab them early. The same with the first of the year's fountains and statues are here. Bird baths are here. We're starting to load up now because there's a lot of inventory to fill up a garden center. We've got 2 acres. And the season starts in February sometime. So we're starting to get these things early. And so these things we are showing off. And some of that's coming in because, well, pottery, it takes our weather and put it right out there. I have to worry about it. Fountains and statues, I have to worry. I don't want them filling up with water and freezing. That's not good for the fountains. It's not good for the pumps inside. So we have them undercover and we show you what they look like. They're not running though. But now's the time. You're seeing you're seeing next spring's fountains and stuff here. And so you grab them now and they make good gift items. I mean, come on. If you had a a lot of gardeners, they have everything. What are you going to get a gardener? Well, a gift card. Okay, that's good. We do sell a record number of gift cards this time of year. That's good. And they can spend it on anything they want. Gardeners are always thinking ahead. So, you're helping them think ahead. That's good. Helping them dream with a gift card to their favorite garden center. I get it. But if they see a piece of art, garden statuary, a bench, a fountain that they go, ooh, that's kind of neat. A note to self, come back later, buy that for them. You can get some unique things they can't get for themselves. So it's a good gift item. And that's why we stock up early with the fountains, statues, benches, that kind of stuff for the holidays. Then it quickly carries over to Valentine's and then Easter and then Mother's Day. It just carries through. But fountains get restocked. Benches get restocked. Bird baths get restocked maybe 3 times a year. Again, these are big, a good quality one, big, heavy, engaging pieces. So you can't just ship one thing and make it affordable. the shipping affordable. You have to get entire semi-loads all at once to mitigate the shipping. Yes, you could probably have that one thing delivered to your door at your house. We could probably do that for you. But the shipping costs as much as the product does. It's crazy. It's just not practical. Skip tariffs on this. Is locally made U.S. stuff. There are no tariffs on it. It's the shipping cost is still a variable. And so there's seasonality to it. So you as a garden buyer or as a garden art person or as a pottery bench, you want to know when's it coming? Oh, oof. So we're trying to get good enough to let people know what's coming and have it on our website so they can pre-order, put their name on it. I think I got this nailed down with the peonies. I think I have it nailed down with the roses. So here's what's coming. It's too early to plant them yet, but if you want one, to make sure you got one of the 10 Joseph's coats or fragrant clouds or Barbara Streisand blooming rose, we'll know what's here, and you can go. You put my name on that one. When they load up and when they deliver, we just go pull that one aside. That's for Mr. Smith over here. That's his name. So we got it. We're getting better at this stuff. This technology overlay to brick and mortar, even at for small players like us, we're good enough to pull that off now. I'm going to try to do that this year with the fountains. If we know they're coming, you can put your name on it before it even gets here. We pull it aside, or you get first dibs, or maybe even have it made with your name on it. I don't know if I can get that good next year, but I'm close. But for sure right now, fountains, benches, statues, beautiful selection of bird baths. Oh, they're gorgeous and they're heavy. They're not this plastic cheesy stuff that takes flight or the first javelina is going to knock it over. No, these are like real bird baths. Here's another tip I can give you. Years of having art and stuff, I never take a piece of art and just put it on the ground in my gardens. I always get a stepping stone or a piece of flagstone. I never put it in soil contact because soil wicks up moisture, and you can lose the base of the structure of the plant or of the fountain or the bird bath or the statue I always raise it up and put it on some sort of surface. And that keeps the plant from wicking up. And when the monsoon rains come in July, August, September, I don't get all this splashing dirt coming up. So it keeps it cleaner and keeps it healthier, both. Those are just some of my insider tips on ponds, fountains, outdoor living, or garden art is what we call it here at Watters Garden Center.
The holidays are here in Arizona's Christmas City, bringing family closer and those chilly winter winds.
While you're decorating the outside, don't forget to brighten up the inside with exotic Christmas plants from Watters.
Beautiful Christmas cactus and poinsettia are coming to town, grown exclusively by Watters in colors you won't find anywhere else.
Unique, vibrant, and guaranteed to warm even the dreariest winter day.
Check your list twice for exotic Christmas plants at Watters Garden Center in Prescott.
So I needed a new watering can. I like metal watering cans, but they don't last forever. You'd think they would. Plastic actually works better. The big green 2-gallon traditional watering cans, but even those don't last forever because the sun breaks them down. They get weak and the handle breaks or something happens, or I drop it more than likely. But metal, I like metal. I like the way they look because my watering cans they're in the gardens. And so a pretty watering can is like a piece of art in the gardens. So I don't have to bring it in every time. Frequently, I keep them loaded up with fertilizer. So when I see, my hydrangea needs some more, boom, I just right there, it's ready to go. Boom, I'm not having to mix it up, get it ready. Or if I'm traveling, I always make sure my watering cans are full already. So when the person taking care of my plants, typically the dog sitter, cat sitter, they go, that plant's wilting. They just right there, they can go water it real quick. Keeps my plants happier. And I have less death and decay from, the irrigation missed on that one. Oh, it helps. I think what happened, because I really like metal cans, you get better finishes, better sizes, shapes, is I think after a couple decades of storing fertilizers in there, I think they finally wear through or rusted, or the bottom. I have a pinhole in the bottom. Okay, fine. I got a new one. Where do you get a nice watering can from? They aren't in town. You can't find one. And so I went online, and here's what I've done, folks. This will help you. I've lined up a partnership with a buddy of mine who sells gardening gifty stuff at his store. I can now sell his stuff to my customers. And so I've got access through our website, wattersgardencenter.com. I've got fancy English watering cans, fancy pruners, beautiful rock art, bird baths. I've got all this gardening gifts, a beautiful bubbled greenhouse, not full on greenhouse, not like you need a permit. Like it's not the typical one you're going to get from the tool companies or Harbor Freight or whatever. It's fun, different, unusual, direct ship right from their warehouse, because they don't have a store, they have a warehouse, and they can ship it directly to your store. You can take a look at those. But anyway, I don't know if we got enough time to get it to loved ones before Christmas, but it's darn close. I ordered a watering can. A week later, it was here. So, but we're bumping up against a holiday shipping mania, like craziness, like shipping. It may or may not make it by Christmas, but if that's of interest, take a look. WattersGardenCenter.com. We set up a site that says shop, and it says online exclusive. You can only, not in store, just online, direct shipped from the warehouse directly to your house. And shipping $7.95, shipped nationwide. So we just said one flat fee will cost average it. I don't care if it costs more or less, $7.95. That's it, ships it. And it got here in a week. I ordered two, one blue, one green, and they're beautiful. I'm so pleased, so happy with my new watering cans, one for the back, one for the front. And they're so pretty. You can keep them outdoors for as long as you want. It's amazing what can happen. But if that's take a look, it's me selling it. I'm backing it, but it's on our site. But I've lined up with a warehouse buddy that can ship it directly to you. So he's got the stuff. It shows how many are in stock. I just don't know the shipping piece. It's so new. How long will it take? I don't want you to say, I've got this for you, Mom, and it shows up a week later after Christmas. Just tell her it's on its way. It's coming. So just kind of being up front with you, going, it's so new. We're trying it out. But throughout the week, Lisa and I camp out here at Watters Garden Center. We do like talking to fans of the show, and the next spring stuff is starting to show up, and it's fun here at Watters Garden Center. Okay, maybe after decades of the same fruitcake exchange, it's time to start a new holiday tradition.
A living Christmas tree from Watters Garden Center can be decorated and enjoyed for a lifetime, not just a season.
When the holiday festivities end, gather family and friends and plant your tree together for years of enjoyment.
As your family tree grows, have a tree that grows with your family. From Watters Garden Center, 1815 Iron Springs Road in Prescott.
For a more fruitful garden, increased success in the landscape that just feels better, then tune in daily to the Mountain Gardener podcast. Subscribe through your favorite podcast streamer or visit wattersgardencenter.com. Better yet, visit me directly right here at Watters Garden Center. Thanks for tuning in.